2014 Apollo 250 RX. I'm not actually sure. DB36, who knows? It's not on the VIN, I don't know. This is a quick overview of this bike. I just finished this thing, doing some fancy upgrades and making it work. And now I have to sell it. But let's go over this bike. Let's talk about a few things about it. This is a Chinese dirt bike. You may have assumed that. It's probably in the title of the video. There's a couple of different frames. I had a Geo recently, and it was actually a totally different bike, even though it had the same, more or less, Zongshen engine, the ZS169, or therefore variants of it. This has a different chassis, a lot more mud protection, which is nice. This bike, when I bought it, had no plastics, had no seat, didn't have a lot of things. And you can buy parts for this kind of out of the US, but they're very expensive. So I've sort of cobbled together some different parts to put it together, make it nice. I got some Honda parts, I got some Chinese plastics, I got some different stuff on it. What's this bike like? They're rated about 15 horsepower, 15 to 17 horsepower, 8,000 RPM redline, approximately. It's hard to know. 33 millimeter forks. I think they have 220 millimeter treble, 240. It's pretty good. It's got pretty good power, actually. This thing's geared a little tall. It's kind of geared like a road bike. I think it would probably do 100. I think the road versions you can buy in the US, well, you can buy them in Canada too, do 120. It's got a really big chain. It's got a 530 chain on it, which is pretty much the biggest you can get. Huge chain on it. So you've got some longevity. Steel rims, steel frame, aluminum engine, steel tank. It's not that heavy. It's probably 240 pounds. It rides really nice. Pretty light clutch. I've got some unbreakable levers on here, which go forward, and we got bark busters. I've learned you need to have bark busters. When you drop the bike, it's very easy to snap a lever off. These will actually bend forward, so you can't break them off that way. And we've got real bark busters, real grips. Stuff you have to have if you're going to do some dirt biking. Realistically, it's got enough power, you could pretty much do anything. In Asia, I rode these lower horsepower bikes. They were great. They're really fun. They're light. This thing feels light. I put 30 PSI in these off-road tires, drove it around the street, drives really well. I'm going to take it for a drive in a few minutes. Be pretty nice. Pretty good value for money. Is it competitive with a Japanese bike? Well, if you look at like a Honda TTR or not, CR 230 or a Yamaha, they have about the same specs. Honestly, the Japanese bike's probably better built, but they are triple the price. Triple the price is a lot. The deal with these bikes are you need to take good care of it. They don't have the thickest paint in the world. So, you know, if you scratch it, just make sure you paint it, as any steel frame would be. The forks are actually not bad. They have okay rebound on them. The stroke is not bad. The brakes are okay. They have pretty good calipers on it. Rear brake's really strong. It's huge. It's this exact same caliper on the rear as it has on the front, more or less. And that's what you want. It's not too loud, this bike. It's a pretty reasonable bike. Pretty fun to ride around. It's very fun, even though it's not super powerful. We got the Ducati over there. It's pretty fast, but it's a lot of hassle. And this thing's an actual dirt bike. I'm gonna take her for a ride in a bit. Check out the homemade kickstand. That's right. That's actually pretty nice pegs on it. They're pretty wide and flat. The nice thing. I like the gearbox. There's a real positive engagement on it. My Honda CR had a real slick gearbox. It was like, but there wasn't a lot of engagement. This thing's like ka-chunk, ka-chunk, like a road bike. I like the engagement on it. Feels nice. And I like the light clutch and the electric start. I put a brand new battery in it. This thing cranks forever. That starter barely takes any amps. Because, man, I've cranked this thing a lot. It works good. Lots of new parts. I got the stock carburetor on there, which actually makes pretty good power. It's a 30 millimeter. It's got adjustability. That's not bad. Let's take this baby for a ride. All right, let's get this baby out of here. Look at that, runs good. Good power. Fun to ride. Fun to ride. Hope you enjoyed it. Please like, subscribe if you found this anything useful. Something useful in here, right? Zoom, zoom. See you in the next one.